Today I'm going to review the January 2010 LEGO catalog, and of course now it's January, so it's been 9 years since this one came out, and this is a lot of the LEGO Atlantis stuff that came out at the time, the first wave of them, so there's like 3 waves, so this is the main Squid Temple along with the Turbo Sub, I think it's called, I don't remember. It's 80 new sets, and I'm back in doing catalogs again. I mean, last one was a couple of weeks ago, but I'm going to start doing more and more of them. So dive into 2010. Inside you'll find new products from some of your favorite LEGO themes. So this is what had LEGO Atlantis and Toy Story, Elite, Ben 10. Oh yeah, Ben 10. But then here's the Squid Temple. I of course reviewed this one before, around the start of the season 2 of my reviews. Interesting set. It's weird I don't have the other set that was on the cover showed here, but its main stage is center here on this page, the Typhoon Turbo Sub. That's what it's called, Typhoon. And these are great sets. I don't have too many of them. I don't think I'll get all of them, but I do have this one. Interesting set with the little manta ray guy there. We also have the shark. A lot of creatures and subs, that type of thing here. And then you have this weird set, which is just Mana Warrior. It's just Mana Warrior with the little sea jet. I have this one too. I might review that one soon. And this one I kind of want to get because it's interesting. I have some of the figures from this one, but it's so this is the biggest one till the Portal of Atlantis came out, but Portal of Atlantis didn't come out till like May, so this is all the January sets. So here is the firefighter sets. We have the off-road truck and fireboat. The fire helicopters are kind of expensive. Fire boat and the fire station. I actually have this one. I don't know if I'll ever review it, but I don't know, maybe in the future. But interesting set. This is probably my favorite of the most recent ones because they just came out with a new one recently. But I find this is always the best one. And then you have some much smaller vehicle type sets. So you have a tractor, if you know, from 2009, seaplane, repair truck. This one was also 2009. It was a horse trailer, a small car, and a Travelier. Alright, so next is the Toy Story sets. So these are kind of weird, but of course, you know, it's Toy Story. I think they're just having newer sets this year. I never really cared for these, I mean, but they're interesting to say the least. The figures, a lot of new molds. I don't think they rarely ever use the minifigure headpiece, just the regular one, except these, which is a weird set by itself with the Jeep, which never appeared in the movie. This is a surprisingly $50. It looks like a $100 set today, but yeah, a lot of these are just kind of strange. A lot of the Buzz Lightyear stuff on this page. I think I had this one once, but it was like a buildable figure, kind of like what they did with, I mean, it's more of a brick built, so I was about to say like Hero Factory, but those are definitely not like these. These are more brick built type figures, and they don't really do them. And then here's the Buzz Star Commander spaceship for $80 of a Zurg figure. Now here are some of my favorite type of stuff. We have Power Miners. These are the first 2 sets. There was like 4 of them in this year. They really didn't have too much for Power Miners and Space Police. Fire Blaster, interesting. A lot of the creatures weren't a little more fire. I guess it was more of a fire type wave, and they were using water. I want to get this one. I like the little feature of the grabber kind of claw, but that's all I really care about for this mech. And then these are the 2 smaller sets for Space Police, and the rest of the sets for both of these came out in June. This is Smash and Grab, which has a rip-off Squidman type figure, and this one has a rip-off, this is Wrench, the other one was Clanks, I think it was. But I don't really care for these 2 sets. The bigger sets were much better. These are just Lego Racers. I never really cared for the Racers by itself. These don't interest me at all. I'll probably just skip these. Except these kind of were. They were like these fold-out tracks, and you would fold them out, and you have little cars and stuff. What was weird about them is that like it was crooks and the police officers, but it was more favoring the crooks, so it was kind of weird. Like you have Security Smash, it was him robbing a bank. Ram, you know, just escaping police, and a lot more of these little tiny cars. And then these were the awful Ben 10 sets. Nobody liked these. They were originally going to have a bunch more of these. This was supposed to be the new Bionicle, but they canceled them because they were just really bad. Like, I don't think anybody would have ever bought these. I think they just warmed the shelves. I never really saw them in stores, but they look awful. And they're like 20 or less pieces. Like, this one only has 14 pieces. Like, $15. That's like $1 per piece, which is dumb. They invented so many new molds and they rarely ever use them. I think they used those for Hero Factory, a couple of the bug characters. That's it. And the thing they might have used, I don't know if I think that's a new mold. It might have been, I don't know. But those are the only pieces they ever reused because they're interesting pieces. But the rest are just awful. This is designed by me. Lego Universe, of course, that failed a lot. The pick-a-brick type stuff. These are just like shipping, detailing if you want to get more of these. Duplo, I don't think anyone really cares. A lot of these brick type sets. Creator, this is a good way for creators. So, well, mostly later in the year as well. You have the Super Speedster. I think I did have this one. I think I still have it. I have it built as this one at someone's house. Had this one too. I really want this one. One of my favorite creator sets. I still don't have it yet, and I don't really care for that. Exclusive, this is the Fire Brigade when that came out in 2010. And they, of course, they had the new holiday one that came out kind of recently that's very similar to this. And they have the Emerald Express, Green Grocer. I think I've gone over those before. Taj Mahal, Medieval Market Village, Grand's Carousel. I've gone over those as well. And these were the Bionicles. This were like the last wave until like 2015 when they had the awful reboot. I never really cared for Bionicle, but they look interesting to say the least. Even I, for some reason, prefer Hero Factory, even though a lot of people like the others. Technic, interesting Technic selection. I don't really care too much for Technic, but I do appreciate their significance because they look interesting. This one especially, the tractor with log loader with the little mechanism there along with the escalator. Alright, so here's the LEGO Mindstorm set, the 2009 one, $280, which is ridiculously expensive. Not as expensive as like the 2013 one. 2017 one is the best though, because that one actually uses like little Lego bricks, and of course is like cheaper. What I find is ridiculous is that it's $280, right? But all the accessories itself would cost a lot more, so yeah, that's another couple hundred. So that's like $500 if you want to get everything for this thing, which is ridiculous in my eyes because it's just a simple robot using Technic pieces. Not even that hard to build. I mean, 600 pieces, that isn't much. Like if it was $120 or something, I understand. But here is Star Wars. This is the early 2010 wave. This is more of a preparation for the later sets in the year. So you have Luke's Land Spear, which seems more of a 2009 set, but it's interesting. It's $25. This is like what, $5 more than the newest one. But I think this one's a little bigger because you can fit a couple more characters in there. Because I think the new one you can barely fit any of the droids. So, but you have a lot of figures here, which is nice. You of course have the Freako Speeder, just this weird alien character, which I think I saw that episode, so I understand what's going on here. Interesting look to it. You have the TIE Defender, which definitely has not aged well. Looks like something from 2006 or something, but not from 2010. You literally just have two figures, but it is an interesting design. I would like them to bring back because it's just a TIE Defender. It looks nice. I like the different TIE Fighter designs, not just the standard one that they do all the time. The Republic Swamp Speeder, $30 is kind of overpriced for this one. It should have been like $25 or something. But I do have a lot of cool figures here, a lot of good droids, and you have the ARC 170 Fighter, which I want them to remake. This one looks interesting. $60 is a interesting, well, not interesting, just a kind of weird price. I can't really say it's overpriced or not, but there's a lot of big pieces in it. You have this, which I've gone over before. You have the Droid Tri-Fighter, which they've remade countless times, so I don't know. And then you have some of the bigger sets here. Tantive 5, which I don't think that's, it's from 2009, so it's not really that new. But you have these little battle packs, but in the Death Star. And then you have the Imperial flagship, which looks nice. Never really cared too much for these types of ships, but it does look impressive. And I do like the little figure selection. But there's a lot more of these Star Wars sets in the next catalog I'm going to go over in February. But that's really it. Not too much. Only really short reviews because I'm mainly saving a lot of my stuff for The next one I go over, which will be Holiday 2010. Thank you guys for watching, and bye guys.